Can I please ask you to take your seats? Go ahead, Mr. Weber.
Madam President of Parliament, President of the European Commission, dear colleagues, this summer was not an easy summer for Europe. It was Alaska, a missing Europe. It was Gaza, a totally split Europe. It was the US trade deal, not easy, forest fires, Draghi criticizing the economic policy pool. It was really not easy. And it's now easy to stand here in this plenary and criticize. I think a lot of colleagues after me will do so. They criticize Commission, Commission President, Council. I will not do like this. I believe we only can win trust if we trust in us. And that's why my first message is that people can count on what EPP promised in the election campaign. We voted in Bucharest for our projects, for our priorities. We won the elections. And the Commission is now delivering. A fleet of omnibuses started. A return regulation is on the table. SAFE programme on defence. We have 18 sanction packages and the Tunisian agreement. And the fence in Greece and Poland are protecting our external border. We have illegal migration numbers reduced by 80%. A lot happened in the last month. It's not perfect at all, but we start to deliver, and I want to thank the Euro Commission for their work. We are attacked as EPP from the left that we are too right, from the right extreme that we are too left. But I tell you, we will seriously and decisively continue to deliver. Content, content, content. That's what counts for EPP. Autumn, dear friends, will be a moment of truth for us now in the Parliament. The legislation arrives on our desk. And the guiding principle for us is responsibility. And that's why we will support the US trade agreement. I understood that in the Inter Committee a lot of colleagues criticised. EPP was the only group who supported the outcome of Scotland. I don't like to have 50% tariffs. I would like to talk about 0%, about TTIP. It was opposed by the left in these times when we discussed it. But what is the alternative to Scotland? A trade war with US? Responsibility means also to stand here and say yes to Mercosur, with the proper safeguards for our farmers. We want to have more of these further agreements with Mexico, already presented, India, Indonesia. We have partners who still believe in a rule-based trade order in the world. Mercosur is for us an anti-Trump agreement to show that rule-based approach works. And if we refuse Mercosur, we push South America to China. I know defending Mercosur is not popular, but it's responsible and it is honest to tell it to the people. And speaking about jobs, last year we lost around 90,000 jobs in the European car industry. 90,000 families. We speak as EPP with trade unions. We speak with the CEOs from the car sector, and everybody tells us we need an ambitious climate approach, but also a realistic one. In this moment of time, whole industries in Europe are dying. That's a reality on the ground. We support an ambitious climate approach for 2050, no doubt about this. But we need a technologically neutral approach, nuclear energy, combustion engine, and we have to screen the legislation on practicability. That is what we have to do, and we have to do it fast. Dear friends, more single market, more flagship projects, more investments, more digital. We all agreed in this House on the Draghi agenda, and now Draghi is asking us, what are you waiting for in this moment of time? Socialists, I have to say, voted in the Ample Committee against the omnibus, for the rejection of the omnibus proposals. And I listened that also, Irache, you said publicly that socialists take the US trade agreement into question. You don't know whether you will support it or not. I tell you, this behaviour is splitting the platform. This is exactly what is harming the European agenda. We have to deliver now, and that's why we have to be honest in this plenary now. Prime Minister Frederiksen, a socialist leader, stood here in July and presented the agenda for the Danish presidency. She spoke about competitiveness, about stopping illegal migration and security. Key pillars. She asked us to be strong on less bureaucracy and migration. There are two sides of the socialist reality, I have to say. There is the socialists of Sanchez and there is the socialists of Frederiksen in today's Europe. And I hope that we don't see the Spanish political reality spreading to Europe. I tell you, nearly all votes during this week proposed CBAM, Future of Agriculture Policy, Public Procurement, Waste Directive, All votes this week are based on a platform agreement on the committees. That's a reality in our House. It works. Europe does not need another ideological fight in the centre. What we need now are solutions. And we have to act fast, dear colleagues. On the return regulation, Fredriksen again, asking us to be partner for the Danish presidency. On the return regulation, Commission presented the regulation in the first 100 days in office. And it took another 100 days to nominate a rapporteur in the European Parliament. And now we have foreseen the return regulation vote in December, at the end of the Danish presidency. Sorry, dear colleagues, that's not the way how we should work. We must speed up. People ask from us solutions in this moment of time. And allow me to underline also on the historic moment we are in. Ukraine confirmed, the Alaska event confirmed that the red carpet for Putin ends up in the most brutal attacks against civilians we ever saw. That's a reality. And on Gaza, enough is enough. Hamas is a terrorist organization, no doubt about this, but hunger can never be a weapon. The reality of summer, dear friends, in these historic issues is that we are, as Europeans, alone in a stormy world order. Nobody on global stage is currently listening to us. I said it on Gaza, totally split Europe. So how can we change this? Dear colleagues, the idea that national sovereignty exists is a Potemkin's village. It is not real. Kohl, Mitterrand and Delors understood this reality on economic terms. They created a single market and the euro. They made us strong. European integration not revocable. And now Merz, Macron, Tusk and all the others must create the same for foreign affairs and for defence. To bring the European integration another step forward and make it non-revocable, as our Commission President presented today. We cannot allow Orban and crazy Fico that they turn the European Union into a foolish organisation, dear colleagues. And just a final point on the nationalists, because we are attacked from both sides. One word to the nationalists at the end. The nationalists here in this House applaud to America first. They are friends of American tech billionaire Musk. Sorry. They are friends. Nationalists applaud to America first. And they are friends of American tech billionaire like Musk. They follow the agenda of the tech money. The reality is nationalists are not patriots. They turn Europe into a colony of Silicon Valley and Washington, even worse, of Moscow. And that's why we will never allow this, dear friends, never allow this. We love Europe. We love the European way of life. Europe is not weak. Europe is as strong as we make it. And that's why Europe must lead now. We are in front of a Europeans' autumn of truth. The EPP is ready.
Now.